Good morning, grade twos. We are going to read from Love Does. So this chapter is called The Town. A line of trees in our backyard runs from the corner of our house down the side of the property. I could never figure out what kind of trees they were, but the kids always called them paper trees because the bark looks like paper and peels off in sheets. The kids made official-looking property deeds from the bark paper and each took ownership of his or her own tree. They eventually drew up plans for a whole town in our backyard. There was a jail, a hospital, and a post office. It had everything. The kids transformed the paper trees into elaborate tree houses. To anyone else, the construction would have looked like a mess of broken wood, pieces of cardboard, and nails, but to the kids, those trees were practically castles. Some of the trees were made into homes, others became stores. The town jail, which looked a lot like our chicken coop, was next to the public square where big announcements could be made. A chicken coop is where the chickens live, and they lay their eggs. Whenever neighborhood kids came over to play, the kids would give them their own tree to live in. The kids' town was a place where everyone was welcome. The kids spent hours creating their town and made their own town rules. As the oldest, Lindsay was the self-appointed mayor and resident artist. Richard declared himself the sheriff. He promised he'd be tough on crime. This left Adam with the role of being the only regular townsperson. Richard didn't have much to do, so he'd arrest Adam once or twice a day and put him in the chicken coop jail. I learned a lot from my kids as I watched them play. If someone in their town ran out of money, they just grabbed some bark paper and made more. New laws were created and changed, if necessary, so each person's needs were met. Everyone had a home, food, and the support of their community. The kids even made a town newspaper and circulated what they thought was important news in their world. Headlines like, "Richard passes his spelling test and Adam learns to ride his bike" were common. They celebrated everyone in the town. When Jesus was with his disciples, he talked about building a new kind of town here on earth. It wouldn't be one that was built on trees or in chicken coops. Instead, it would be a kingdom built inside of our hearts. Jesus said God was creating a new way to live, and one of the rules in this town was that everyone's needs were supposed to be met. He didn't need any sheriffs or mayors, but he did want people who would help each other out. God's kingdom seems a lot like the kids' town, a place where old rules don't apply, where there is always enough to go around, and where everyone has a home. As friends of Jesus, we get to be members of his kingdom on earth, and we get to live by new rules too. God has given each of us a tree in the kingdom. What are you going to make yours look like? There's a picture of their chicken coop.